Hello YouTube, I'm back yet again with another rant video. And for we all know that Pokimane, she's been banned on Twitch. Obviously, she's been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender on Twitch while she was streaming. It's not a permanent ban, but it's technically a ban. It's a temporary ban, so hopefully maybe this will kind of like teach her a lesson about being full of yourself and being cocky, thinking that you wouldn't get repercussions. So because obviously Viacom has claimed copyright, has made a copyright infringement towards against her and towards Twitch. So Twitch could possibly be sued. So they made sure to ban her for that, so that they can reassure that their site can still be on the lookout and it's protected by the community. Also, Viacom people should not underestimate. From what I gathered, it is a big company that it actually had some beef with YouTube for 3 years. Like it was 3 years ago, there was some like pursuit. They had plans to sue YouTube for over billions of dollars, and YouTube had at least 3 years to try to maintain, to try to get it off their chest, try to get themselves in the clear, and they were able to, both sides were able to have it settled, and YouTube was still able to maintain its content, its channel, its website. So yeah, also I hear Twitch is going to be corporate as well, with the just very similar to YouTube now, because they don't want to take the chances. They want to be sure. They want to be strict with users online. So now, from now on, you can't watch any anime videos, possibly, or you can't watch any YouTube related content on Twitch. It could possibly lead to a ban, and yeah, they're taking that route seriously. Um, no reason to blame them for that, because that's a smart cause actually, because they want to they want to be able, they want to stay relevant. And Pokemon's, although Pokimane is still relevant, you have people. She is an influence, so for those people who refuse to listen are going to do exactly what she did, because how big her following is. And of course, she has young kids following her, looking up to her. Considering that's just really weird in my opinion. Like, oh, well, even if she is a woman, still doesn't matter regardless of the gender. But people are gonna do the same thing as she's doing right now. They're gonna just to show off, just like her, because they're like, that's how much they look up to her, seriously. And people are not, just really refuse to use common sense, really, just so they can have the same cloud. It's like a trend, honestly. When someone as big as Pokimane does something ridiculous, people are gonna make a trend out of it. So that's what's to come in the upcoming future. So I'm not too sure what's so special about her. She does, from what I understand, she does play Overwatch. She plays Fortnite. She plays Minecraft. She's not too much of a great gamer, if I recall, just from her gameplay. Honestly, been looking up her videos, just mainly just showing off her body. Like I already mentioned throughout my previous videos, where women just do it for their looks, because people I know there are a lot of thirsty guys out there that's just willing to watch simply for those non-talented content creators out there. No offense. At least when I do game, I don't try to show my face. I know I'd just be willing to show everybody what I'm playing, so maybe they can have some hints and clues on how they portray my YouTube content, how they portray my content, like, so that they can see that, oh, you got some good results. I do, of course, like, and they can try to like learn from what from my experience and become a better gamer. That's the whole point of doing gameplay. When you're doing that kind of content, it's just simply you want to like you want to influence them to the point like they can, this is how they develop as gamers also, and just to be, so they can be more competitive. And they need to learn from more competitive users who take gaming seriously, unlike her, honestly. Because you have people like Moist Critical talking about her. You have plenty like Optimus. There are plenty of YouTubers I've seen. Like you'll see them gaming and stuff while they're doing rant videos. Unlike me, although that's my perspective. I like to show the pictures of what I'm talking about so you have a better idea of how you'd imagine like the kind of like situation I'm explaining and describing, so you have a clue like maybe you don't end up in that situation. You could try to avoid being in that situation. And when they do, of course, when people do their rant videos, they do tend to like screen record. That's up to them. Honestly, I'm not to judge because that's their own content. I try to be original too, so but it's to show that like they're willing to like because it just although it seems random, they're just willing to try to get people their audience entertained by doing some gaming. For those who are popular with certain types of games that may have maybe they may notice the games they're playing. So because like with Pokimane is that like she could do the same as those other YouTubers, those other content creators, like just screen record her game, her video, what she's playing, her whatever game she's playing, and not show her face. But it would kind of take away her audience. Her audience would have fled because like she's not showing much of herself because that's how she rolls. That's how she does her videos because she has to be in it for viewers to be willing to donate, for people to be willing to worship and love her content because that's who she is. It's mainly about her looks rather than her gaming experience. And people are too brainwashed. Like honestly, these young fans. I don't want. That's why I avoid being a simp because like I feel like I'm being manipulated and I'm not because right now when I do videos like this to educate you guys so that they're not benefiting you. It's they're benefiting themselves, and they appreciate that you're doing it for them, but they're in return they're not gonna like thank you. It's the only difference is they're not gonna thank you, even though if you might be recognized or noticed. Because I know there are people who are just so desperate these days. I've heard like there are people who donate her so much that the whoever donated the most money could possibly go on a date, have a picture with her, meet her at a convention center, take pictures, obviously, and talk about other random stuff. And then that, in her case, is not really a date. It's more like I'm leeching off of your expense. I'm leeching off of your like account. I'm taking although you get to see me, but in rich like there's still a cost that you have to be. How much are you willing to spend to go out with me? That's how it is, honestly. And she cares about your investment, how much you're willing to pay. Is why she's so happy right now, like because she's really happy that she has people that are like she has men off. I don't know what consider girls, but or women, but she has people that are willing to bend the knee for her as if she has her own servants. Because that's what you're doing. You're being a servant for her. Just agreeing to everything that she obliges, that she says, that she does. That's what happens when you're influenced by someone. And she's considered toxic, honestly. And for people who hate to say it, she's toxic. Because I'm not, my mind is not warped. Like, although she's conceited, although she's manipulating her fans, but it's like you're just so quick to fall for it. And just how quick have these guys faltered to the point where that like they become like her own like bots basically, just her own like defenders, like her white knights, her keyboard warriors. So for those who say anything negative, they might bash me, they might say negative, make negative comments. I've heard that for people who've dissed Pokimane or who try to speak the truth about her or share their opinions on her, there are people that are so quick to be on the or that are so quick to defend her and then go off on those people, even if it's just simply something like light as an opinion. Honestly, even if especially when it's not meant to be taken as such as a big deal, because these guys can't afford for people insulting their queen, because that's how you define a simp, honestly. She's laughing at them. I guarantee the only time she's gonna respect a dude unless he has respect for himself. And then like yeah, she has to have they have to have something in common too, but it's not like be a drone or something, but just someone who's willing to take care of himself as well as her. But like you need like if you're a respectable person, honestly, you have to rather it's better best to be yourself. Try to be mature. Unfortunately, that's not the fans' case. They're not mature, but if you're a mature person, respectable person who has their life in check, then yeah, maybe she can see you as a whole completely different person. Then maybe she won't try to leech off of you, and then maybe you guys could potentially possibly go out with her, but and like with a in a real relationship where it's like to the point that we have something in common, we could take it to the next level. And I'm not a simp anymore. I'm an alpha. But although this is about Twitch banning her because like she's doing the things that she's doing right now, I'm just not letting you guys know for sure is that you're gonna do this trend now because you feel like whenever someone you favor, someone you worship, someone you're a fan of, like that you consider your role model, you have to you're a copycat, honestly. You imitate because you're trying to take the role of somebody else that you find glamorous, you think is very well above, possibly above the law, and someone who just gives no craps about what anybody says and just has like a really high life status to the point where like they're above everyone else. But in reality, if you want to prove that she's above everyone else, let's see how she can deal like like, with people in person, like on her own, without people having to donate, and just look at her as being like a 10 out of 10 when really she's just a 6 out of 10. And those are my thoughts, honestly, guys. Although I seem a little agitated, be sure to check my content. Expect more. Also, obviously, be sure to check my notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.